Hey, my name is Zeus Tipado, a writer for Healing Maps, and let's talk about DMT and Sigma-1 receptors. Many of you know that most classical psychedelics like DMT, psilocybin, MDMA, LSD, they're all serotonergic agonists, which means they interact with the 5-HT neuroreceptor group, otherwise known as serotonin receptors. But with dimethyltryptamine, which is DMT, on top of it being a serotonergic agonist, it's also a Sigma-1 agonist. But what the heck is a Sigma-1 neuroreceptor? I mean, did you even know that there was a Sigma-1 receptor that DMT seems to love to attach to in the brain? So Sigma-1 is a chaperone protein. However, it's less like a chaperone at a school dance and more like a bouncer at a nightclub. It has a list and it makes sure that things like calcium gets in, while blocking other chemicals. DMT is a Sigma-1 agonist, which means the Sigma-1 receptor is letting DMT cut in the line and get directly in the club, which means that it would allow its activation on whatever part of the brain the Sigma-1 receptor is connected to. Okay, great, DMT is a Sigma-1 agonist. So what, Zeus? What do we do with this information? There's a neurological disorder called a schema, which is inadequate oxygen to a part of the brain. This lack of oxygen in the brain causes spreading depolarization, which basically means that your neurological system is having a total collapse. It's usually an indicator of a stroke. So here's the part you've all been waiting for. A study was published in the summer of 2021 that showed when given DMT under this neurological disorder of the schema, the psychedelic reduced cell death and promoted cell survival. The overall rate of neurological depolarization resulting from the schema was decreased, which means even though the brain was essentially collapsing due to a lack of oxygen, the rate of this collapse was decreased by a significant amount. This shows that DMT can achieve neuroprotection and counteract cellular death in the absence of oxygenated blood in your brain. Researchers also found DMT doesn't cause any distinct cardio or cerebrovascular effects when ingested, and thus the neuroprotective potential of DMT was due to the psychopharmacological effects of the substance and not other physiological variables. Keep in mind, this study was conducted on rats, as many neurological-centric psychedelic studies are. Also, the results of the study have not been replicated or even attempted to be replicated. Those two things aren't deal breakers, but they're not deal makers. Before we can start saying DMT can counteract brain death, we need more data on its effects on the Sigma-1 receptor. Still, really amazing study coming from the University of Szeged in Hungary.